launch day. This album's been in the making for a long time. It's been months of planning and prep, artwork prototyping, pre-production, checking the mixes, translate on different systems. Very happy with the results. As you can hear, it's quite something. So when you're releasing an album, you have to write a to-do list. So number 1, sick songs, check. Number 2, artwork. Number 3, release. So I need to do some artwork. I prefer using these kind of pens, the ones from Tiger, because they've got 2 different sized nibs. A lot of this album was actually fueled on a combination of bread, peanut butter and Marmite together. If you haven't tried it, then you might be able to actually write some decent songs if you do. Give it a go. I think it's appropriate to explain where I was coming from emotionally when I was composing this material. Composing really is the correct word because it's so multi-layered and dense that it's not really songwriting, it's absolutely, it's composing. I haven't really spoke about this publicly, but before I was a drummer I was quite a serious artist. I spent most of my time practicing drawing, mostly portraiture. Quite hard to capture that moment really. David Gilmour once said that he wished that he was on the listening side of Dark Side of the Moon. I think it's probably a similar experience for me really releasing this. It's a bit like that Floyd album. This is kind of crossing different genres and it'd be nice to experience that from the listeners. But that is the artist's tragedy at the end of the day. Change colour. That's beautiful. I draw influence from so many places. John Mayer, the Beatles. So that's the artwork done. Who needs a record label? Not me. Make your own path. Songs speak for themselves. People come to you. A lot of bands, a lot of artists make the mistake of paying people to design their stuff and to create high quality digital artwork. It's bollocks. If you create the music, you create the artwork. I mean, look at this. Take a photo of it. Put that in the computer. Job's done. Genius needs no budget. Just an iPhone. There's a heavy Marley influence in this music, particularly on this album. People used to tell me that you need a recording studio. Not with this. GarageBand. All the tools you need. Hadn't really intended for the original tracks to be leaked, but such is the nature of being a contemporary artist. These are all messages in the last 24 hours asking me to release everything but the music. Still going. Why you stop filming it? You're saying it's less popular than it is then? Don't. Okay, does actually stop there. So yeah, you can stop there because heavy drum and bass as well. I think a lot of the beats you can hear are heavily influenced by psytrance, drum and bass particularly. A lot of you have been asking about lossless. Of course I'll be uploading in lossless, there's no other way. I mean, it's all about that high fidelity audio. Granted, GarageBand forces you to export an MP3, but I've reconverted that to WAV, so obviously there's no loss of audio there, no loss of quality. It's just a needlessly large file size. But it wouldn't be right any other way. It wouldn't be right any other way, it's got to be WAV. So this is a very important phase of releasing an album, is choosing the running order. You want to create the right experience for the listener, particularly with challenging music like this. It's important that it flows and it's not overwhelming. A lot of bands will seek outside advice on what the best track order is. I don't do that. I let the song decide where it sits in the album. And the way I do that is, they say quality over quantity. Not true. Quantity over quality. So I'm ordering this album based purely on file size. It's quite simple. Just take the tracks here, don't spend ages on it, you just click that. I think I was just trying to capture what it feels like to be, a young person in Britain today. What that's like emotionally and socially and culturally. And I think that really comes across when you listen to the music. I think that's people have said that's the first thing, you know, when they hear the opening track, is they go, oh well, that's obviously a very clever and well composed commentary on modern society, and they'd be right. So given that this music will probably change your life, as it has changed mine, I'd like you to be able to download it. So it's free on Bandcamp to download, obviously. If you want to pay for it, then that's great.